In my past life, I was beam ship engineer. It means that they build spacecrafts that can do faster than the speed of light.
So right out of Star Trek, you know, it's like you were like Scotty, one of the crewmates that helped create warp drive, because this ship that you captured is absolutely incredible. I have to ask this harsh question because, you know, we at Third Phase of the Moon receive videos from around the world, and we have a lot of skeptics watching us at Third Phase. Did you have any manipulation of any kind of a Photoshop? Did you create this amazing photo, or is this genuine?
This is genuine. It's taken from my Nokia mobile.
Well, you have supplied us at Third Phase of the Moon the original photographs, and we've been taking a real close look at it, and we see no manipulation of any kind. It is very amazing. I've never seen a spaceship anything like this.
Yeah. There is no manipulation at all.
Robert, does the technology that these star beam ships carry, is it nuclear, is it fusion, is it black matter? Do you have any idea what it is?
It's an improvement. It means it's a crystal stone. It's a very, very big crystal, piezoelectric crystal stone in the center of the craft. And you can see on that craft I sent you can see that on the bottom of the craft there is a small light, or not so small, but it's pretty big though. And what happens is that when that light is going up in frequency, if you hide that generator, piezoelectric crystal generator's power, meaning the frequency, it will swallow the craft fully, so it will be looking like a star, like a glowing ball of light.
Can you tell me what kind of aircraft this is, and what planet it may have came from the galaxy?
It comes from Andromeda, and it's from my home planet in Andromeda galaxy. The planet name is Xenon, and that's where I did the work and build spaceships, spacecrafts, and everything in my past life.
If anybody wants to visit Robert, click the link below and you will find out more information that Robert has to share with us. Robert, you have some amazing information. I really want to thank you for joining us here at Third Phase of Moon.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Checa cómo se hizo, ¿ah? Se hizo como el platillo ya. ¡Wow! Alguien lo tiene que estar grabando. ¿Sí lo estabilizas o no?
Here's a 1915. Right there it is. Wow, incredible. Wow, look at that. Look in the magnification window. I mean, look at that right there. That is incredible. It's just going out of view right there. See that? Back and up. Look at that. That was just incredible. It's like a whole fleet of those. Look at those.
Погоди, я тебе отвечаю, там что-то летало. Во-во-во. Вау, офигенно. Офигеть. РЛО прям над нашим сраным городом. Блин, я знал, что они существуют. Слушай, они как будто разговаривают, да?
Frick, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Holy crap! Oh my god, I wish I got that on camera. It just freaking, it went like this. Boom! It just, oh my god. Oh my god. Hey.
What is it? It's the same thing we saw last time. The exact same thing.
А вот сейчас видно.
Oh man. What the hell? It's very shiny. I don't know what that is. You guys see that?
God, I don't know what it is. Maybe I knew it.
How did they get all the way over there then? And they're way too fast for regular airplanes.
There's another one coming from the direction.
Oh, look at fireworks! I actually saw like fire streams coming out on both sides.
You don't see that?
There was like 3 of them and we were all tripping out. It was really something. Lanterns they
No.
Fucking Chinese fucking lantern, dude.
put like a T-like handle in this thing.
Lanterns
Made
go
of
one
white
way.
paper.
They don't.
Planes don't turn circles.
Chinese lantern doesn't turn fucking circles.
Wait,
No.
you should have.
Oh man.
It's getting faster. My fucking word, it's faster.
He's going in the opposite direction now.
Those things were definitely spaceships. There were.
It's possible. This is not a spaceship. It's going really small, right? And slow.
Not a helicopter.
Ne znam, ne deri se.
Dva. Rajko, neće da dođe da... Rajko!
Ovdje vam, fiksiraj se. Fiksiraj se, pa onda ga zoomiram.
Rajko!
S ovom kamerom.
Pa dođite da vidite, bre! Penjice su stepenice.
Pa mi se plašimo, komšini.
Dođi, bajka!
Ej, definitivno si ja od dole, evo, zoomirao sam ga, znaš koliko?
Drže, bajka! Gledaj, 2 komada, jedan je otišao već.
Evo ga.
Gledaj.
Jedan je otišao.
Eno ga drugi.
Prvi je otišao.
Mada, znaš šta, na šta mi liči malo? Na balon. A ne verujem.
Što balon na toj visini?
Evo, bato, dođi na kameru, pogledaj, požuri.
Neka vidjet će.
Gdje je drugi?
Evo ga izlazi.
Aha. Sve sam trebao. Upičio je jedan vamo.
Koliko su oni šetaju grad?
Vidiš, bato?
Više neko već radi.
To su 2, bilo ih je 7, 8, bre. 9.
Bio je treći otišao kako. Koliko ih je bilo?
Ali nestali...
Mi smo vidjeli, postoje još 2.
Ali nestali su baš.
A još ne slušaj. Ona je jedan još.
Set it right there.
What the hell? What the fuck is that? I have no idea what these are, what it is. but I saw one of them in the sky when I was leaving my house, which is back there. Now there are 3 of them. Holy shit.
Ah, ok, sí está en Night Vision. Checa cómo se hizo, ¿ah? Se hizo como el platillo ya. ¡Wow! Alguien lo tiene que estar grabando. ¿Sí lo estabilizas o no? La misma altitud, la misma altura, chequen. Y este es el lugar por donde he grabado las luces. De hecho aquí he hecho las tomas. Ahí está. ¿Qué onda? ¿Dónde estás, Oye, es que estoy grabando un objeto ahorita, pues bien, súper increíble, Y ha ido bien lento y todo, pero ¿sabes qué? Va hacia tu zona. Ajá, más o menos para tu zona. Y haz de cuenta que pues yo ya le di varios zoom acá con la cámara y no es un pinche globo, pero ¿sabes qué? Está increíble, Simón, ¿ya lo viste? No manches, pasó cerquitas de mí, güey. O sea, pasó cerquitas. Nomás que lo alcancé a grabar un poco, Acá mi cuñado está grabando con mi otra cámara. Ahora ya está estático, bien estático. Simón. Ya está. No se ha ido, ahí sigue ahí, sigue estático. ¿Ya lo viste, Toño? ¿Ya lo viste, güey? José, córrele, güey, suerte. Mira. Vamos a... Sigue ahí, ¿no? ¿Cómo lo seguiré? ¡Corre, güey! No, ¿sabes qué? Quiero el cargador, güey, era el que quería.
I'm sorry, the other video with the New York City lights. Oh my God, I didn't realize the microphone was off. But anyway, check them both. The other one is freaking crazy. Some lights, and they're sucking something out of the water. And now this one, don't tell me this is a plane. I don't care what anybody says, this is very strange. Look at 2 on the side. Now, there could be airplanes, but look at this one. Nobody can deny something out of, it's a UFO. Right? Look at one on top to the left, and then they disappear. It's, you know, if you're not familiar with these cameras, this webcam just work like every few seconds. It gives you a new image, okay? But so in the next second,
primera esfera de este día sábado 24 de noviembre. Es bastante grande. Ahí la voy a perder. A ver. Bastante grande. Wow, increíble. Hay que correr. Ahí va. Qué movimientos, Dios mío. Increíble.
They're here.
Shit. Ellos. ¿Qué? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Por qué? ¿Qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué vienen ahora? ¿Qué hacen? ¿Qué están haciendo aquí todas esas cosas? Un avión pasa. Un avión está pasando con estos objetos extraños. Parece que se están desapareciendo.
to take, what is that?
Are they going for the lights? Dude, look, they're moving, look. Y'all wanna try to get close? I wonder where it's at. Dude, I wonder if we're the only ones seeing this shit. Dude, man. Look at these helicopters. Look.
Look, they all like came over this way.
Oh, dude. Look, there's one helicopter.
1, 2.
There's 2 helicopters.
4, 5. Dude, let's get close. Come on.
Dude, we're not. Let me get a little bit more footage.
Imagine, they're probably 3 miles away.
Dude, that's a helicopter, man. And those things right there. Well, we're missing one. They're going away. One just left. There was 5. Now then there was 4.
Wow, anyways. Come on, dude. Let's see if we can get close.
Nah, man. People. I see it.
At the bottom.
Uh-huh. Alright, one's gone.
But those could be helicopters.
Hey, are those more helicopters?
Yeah. What the hell? I'm telling you, if we could get closer, you'll see all this shit.
I don't even know, dude. This is like, how many helicopters just passed by? Dude, I don't even know. Oh, dude. This is some good. I can't even move.
No sé qué será, pero se ve muy raro. Está como triangular o algo cuadrado, octagonal, no lo sé. El chiste es que ya lo voy a perder.
There we go. Oh, down to 2. Shit, there goes another one. Fuck.
God damn it.
There goes the last one as soon as you get the camera. That's alright. I got a total of like 4 minutes.
You got that?
Yeah.
Closer to it. Oh, it's that other light on top of it. What the freak is that other light on top of it? Oh my god! Oh my gosh! No, I'm scared. Dude, I'm scared. Yeah, let's not get closer to it. What how like catch it? Jacob, what are those lights? What are they? I'm recording, okay?
Firefighters are still battling 130 fires across New South Wales.
Oh my god, looks like glass.
Красотища. Низко очень летит.
This is a beautiful video. There you can see the clouds behind.
Punti di riferimento, la sega, punti di riferimento.
Che bello, caro.
And it's following the movements of the craft.
Ecco, aspetta, guarda.
No,
Guarda da vicino, corri.
No, ma quanto è grande?
Corri, vai giù a sentire, vai giù dalla nonna, corri. Corri! Se ne va! Cazzo. Se ne va, se ne va, se ne va.
Then he stops recording for a second, and he records back because he was falling, he was in a very uncomfortable position. The UFO was not there anymore. It's not that it disappeared. Then on March the 12th,
Fermo. Mamma mia.
2008, records for the second time with that camera. We can see some spots in the camera because sometimes accidentally he directs the camera to the sun and he gets these spots. And this is important because you will see
Bellissimo,
that in the next
bello,
video.
bello, bello.
And in this video you can see how the object is really dancing, letting Antonio record as much as he wants, from one side to the next. The clouds here are a point of reference. The next video was recorded the 26th of August 2008. We have many more spots on the same camera. And they can be used to test that the video is absolutely real. There is no question in my mind. All of this was analyzed by experts in Italy, but also by Jim Della Tosso in the United States.
Cavolo. Belli.
So here you can see more
The
details.
object measures probably around 10 meters, 20 yards. It's not a small object. It's not a huge object.
Belli, belli.
These are probably some of the best daylight images ever taken from a UFO. We can see here now the sunset. We can see that the sky is getting pink. The music is inside the house of Antonio. He was listening to this music when the object appeared. He went to the bathroom again and, well, they have to stop. Amazing. We have been expecting for this to happen for a long time. And this is just the beginning. and now disappeared. You saw how it disappeared? That's the way it is.
America. I don't know what it is. Maybe I knew it.
Мне сейчас от фонаря ее не видно будет, наверное. Смещается, смещается. Да, да, я и говорю, что как треугольник она. Руки замерзли даже. Ну, видно, явный треугольник. Три огня получается. Она на камере видна. Вон, он стал опускаться. Хорошо, что с машины как бы снимать можно так же. Да. Поправку. А, это самое близкое. Ну вот ориентир, фонарь, кольцевая, как бы вот она. Кольцо. Движется. Вот максимально. Оп! Видела? Яркость.
Да. Фотографирую.
Какую ты фотографируешь? Бесполезно снимать просто.
Я говорю, они нас фотографируют.
Думаю, что-то другое. Вот что это?
Я не знаю.
Ну, самолетов я таких не видел ни разу, не знаю. И так резко и приближается, на сближение самолет не пойдет, наверное.
Ну нет, конечно.
Может, конечно, наши придумали, Путин не зря там профинансировал.
Не, ну реально, раз красный, присоедини его сделал.
Это наш ответ на ПРО.
Лада Калина.
Грант. Подожди, 24.
Реально шевелится.
Oh! What is it? Huh?
Oh my god.
bro. Es otro. Es un objeto redondo.
I don't know if you can see that, but there's something orbiting that planet over there.
Elijah shot the video on December 20th around 5:05 p.m. in Sacramento.
I saw something that I'd never seen before. I saw another object orbiting this, you know, whatever it was up there. And I've never seen anything like that before.
He thought it was a little strange, so he put his phone down, called his nephew, picked up the phone, and shot this second video.
Oh my God, it blew up.
Dad, move your hair.
What the hell is that thing? Hold on a second.
Dad, move.
What is that?
I can't see.
Look, where you? All these lights. There's nobody over there. Look.
Dude, first it was just
And then they're
two.
gonna disappear. Watch.
Dude, what is that?
First it was two, and then another one came out. Look.
That's crazy, huh?
How is this one on the fucking right hand side? You know, what's he doing? Look at the one on the bottom. Oh, it tried to light up.
What is that?
See how they're dying?
What do you?
What is that?
What do you see, Deborah?
Oh, see? One's
Look,
gone.
one died.
Gone.
And then look, there's a fourth one. And then it went with the other ones. You see it?
Look at this one's going to combine. He's combining.
They're combining?
Yeah.
Look, John, focus. Oh, can you see them?
No, but I just have it in the.
What the fuck? They're all together now.
Oh, crazy binoculars?
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah, man. See if you can focus better. I don't know if I'm looking there. Look at that shit.
How many do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Dude,
5,
right
6,
now there's
7?
only
I see
two.
3.
I see 7, bro.
Dude, that looked like what you were explaining to me because that shit is fucking.
Hey, one's appearing up on top. Look.
Oh, well, shit, another one. Look.
What is that?
Another one coming out. Look.
Oh, another one. Oh, it's blurred out.
5. There's 5 right now.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
No. Dude, what the fuck is that?
I know, but I'm recording it.
Are you really?
Yep, look. Look at that.
Do you see that?
Maybe this will make me rich, bro.
Looks like an aircraft symbol.
No, but they're
No.
by themselves. They're single.
Oh, another one disappeared. Look, there's only one.
No, there's a couple up there, bro.
There's like 3 combined there, but...
Dude, but where did
No, it's
they
gonna
come
disappear
from?
or what?
Look, now it's just one.
Way up on top.
Way up there,
Look
look.
at that shit. What the hell is that?
Oh,
Edgar.
fuck. Oh!
They all left.
Disappeared.
They all left. They all disappeared, bro.
Did you focus?
Here it comes again. Look.
I don't know, me and John were trying to explain it to you guys.
Looks like the thing involved.
Dude, but you can't even see where they're coming from.
They're just there.
Yeah,
They disappear. They appear.
They come up like the bottom.
Look at that.
Holy shit! There goes the other one.
What is that, bro?
Oh, I have no idea.
Man, watch it out.
That is a trip, dude.
You don't even have a focus, Matthew.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do.
Who cares? John's got everything right here.
Look at that one appearing on top. Look at that.
Oh, there it goes. Oh, and then the other one.
That
look.
is crazy, dude. It looks like they're spelling some shit out or something.
Ow.
Dude, but how can you be that high and experience shit, you know, with lights on? Oh, no, look.
See, there's
1,
like
2, 3, 4. There's 4.
But they're not coming from anywhere, John.
They're just
No, they're just standing
They're
there,
just
yeah.
lighting up.
Yeah.
And they're going away.
But they're just like on their own. Like that one disappeared. Did you see it?
Undulating in the sky. So I was really freaking out after a while. So I grabbed out my camera phone, started taking some shots of it, and I caught what I caught, but my batteries basically ran out before I could get it really what was going on. But I caught something at least. So it's really blew my mind. A couple of people started looking around when they saw me with my camera looking up in the sky. They started looking and pointing at it and just tripping out. And since they were speaking Spanish, my Spanish wasn't that good. I couldn't get, just they're saying la luz in the sky, the lights in the sky. It's pretty much all I could get for them, but they were tripping out also. I'd never seen anything with that kind of lights in the sky. I have no idea, but it was nothing like what I've ever seen. It didn't just travel in a straight line. The colors, the object was undulating. It didn't just keep a circular shape like you'd think the light was changing. I wish I could have had more, and I wish I had a better camera, basically, where I could have got sharper pictures.
We at Third Phase of Moon have taken a really close look at this, and I invited my brother, Brent Cousins, also to help me in this investigation. My brother Brent has been awarded the Guggenheim Museum Top 120 Artist. He can spot a fake from a mile away. Tell me, Brent, what is your concern with this video?
Well, what the people have said here at YouTube is that it was a kite or a balloon. I believe that's neither the case.
Looking over John Bennett's footage, we notice the object casts a reflection from the sun. It matches and resembles the same reflection off the stadium lights. Now let's take a closer look and notice its pixelation. When we zoom in, we notice the pixelation is very consistent with the rest of the picture. All right, Brent, well, tell me, what do you think of the vintage 1980s VHS tape that we're looking at right now. Do you deem it authentic like this last video? Dealing with VHS back in the 80s and its 200-line resolution, I would suspect this video would be very difficult to manufacture or fake.
There's a UFO massive on top of it.
Ay, está raro. Observen. Mi amigo. Va lentísimo. Se va moviendo muy muy lento. Está raro. Carajo, ¿qué será? Está realmente muy raro. Tiene esas dos puntas allá abajo. Es como si fuese un cuadro. Algo así. Está increíble, ¿eh? Lo veo muy increíble este objeto. Yo pienso que alguien ya lo había grabado en otra parte de México. No sé en qué parte, pero por ahí miré algún objeto similar. Ahí lo estoy estabilizando. Oh. Parece ser que... Bueno, se tendría que mover muchísimo. Cualquier otra cosa. Vamos a ver. Miren, aún sigue en este espacio. Justamente esta es la área por donde he grabado las luces por la noche.
¿Me prestas el teléfono, güey?
¿Qué teléfono?
El de la casa.
¿Cuál?
De la casa, güey.
Espérame.
Он до сюда не достанет, Оль. Таня, мало ли, что ты может отвлечь меня. Поехали там.
Å, fy fader! Jeg filmer det! Jeg har det på tape! Jeg har det her! Å, dame!
Hva ser jeg?
Golf course thing. This one's sitting there. I don't know if it's another one sitting down lower. Sitting hiding in the woods there. It could be. I don't know what's over there because it's the first time I've ever been here. And there you go, you see a little flash. And now it's taking off the side there. And the trees. Some more flashes up in the sky. That is wild. Kann man es mal im Verhältnis zum Feuerwerk sehen, oder? Das Objekt verstehen. Jetzt bewegt er sich wieder. Jetzt ist er wieder am Absteigen, schau mal. Ich bin voll.
Seine Form gesehen.
Ja, ich bin ja schon voll im Zoom. Jetzt sinkt er, hä?
Ja. Nein, voll, da bin ich noch UFO, das ist nicht.
Ты. Вижу.
Даня, давай.
Да, это реальные тарелки.
А кто ведь камеру взял вообще?
А иди возьми камеру-то. Чем мы на телефон снимаем? Еще она вылетает. Давай камеру. Друзья по разуму. Маш, еще одна вылетает. Да, вижу.
It's not a plane.
And 2 lights going at the top. Right, maybe.
You might want to look at this.
Oh wow, oh wow, look at this. That is great. Oh, this is awesome. About time they bloody well came back.
And these are lights on the horizon. That shows the horizon there. And this is just zoomed in.
That's incredible. This would be so far away. Why can't they come over here? Those came out of one light. That's just amazing. Who feels awake?
Yeah, I know.
It's amazing. Substrate wall.
And people who have an intimate knowledge about each other.
There's another one further over to the right now. Just way over.
20 years. It is the longest run to first base in history. I thought we got to second base. No. I think Kenny did. From Wilson is halfway to third. Let's get out of here. Yeah, kind of beat myself. I'm certainly not getting any rest back here. Touchdown in minutes. Another episode of Wings next. Just a run-off cocktail number 59. Crushed ice.
That's the new one. It's amazing. So wait, the second one though, and the first one.
It vanished. And then there was one over there, and then there was two, and now there's actually three. There's one next to another one, and one over a little ways. See?
Yeah, I can see. I'm watching it here, but this is what happened that time over that side. Remember, there was.
Yeah.
And the other time they were it was moving around. One was circling the other.
And they are moving, because I have to periodically move the camera.
They are moving.
But they drift one way, and then they drift back another way. They're not really going anywhere.
I don't know the first one yet.
I don't know, it just vanished.
What are they over? What town is over there?
It's Apple Valley. Actually, at this view, I have the city lights of Apple Valley with the dots above it.
Look. Now there's like three in a big line. And the middle one winked out.
There's another one next to the top one.
Yeah, the bottom one.
They're moving. It like they're skipping around. There's three in a line.
Yeah, they just went 1 to 3. You might be better off to move the tripod down in front of John's car. You won't have this light behind us. Oh, there we go.
It does that when they move.
Going on for well over 10 minutes now. No, it's about 10 minutes for the video, but...
Damn, it's too dark. Dude, that looks fucked up, dude. Look at that shit. Dude, that's gotta be like one of them monitor missiles, dude.
Dude, they all combined. That's not normal.
Dude. Pull up. Yeah, pull over so we can watch that shit, dude. Yeah, I wanna try and get out of the truck. Get out of the truck so I can.
Dude, that wasn't even right.
Hold on. Ugh. Dude, look at that shit. Dude, look at that shit. Dude, that's gotta be like a meteor shot. No, dude, look at that shit. It stopped. Dude, you see that shit stop? You fucking kidding me, right? Dude, that's like directions and shit. Holy shit. Dude, I got it recorded split up. I don't know. Yeah, it looked better when I jumped out the truck than it did. Dude, that is fucking crazy. Look at all these people fucking pulling over.
Yeah,
Check that
I
shit
was
out.
talking about the comet, but man, that is.
Yeah, that ain't no fucking comet, dude. Comets, yeah.
Because they all combine together, then they split off, and then
Yeah, breaking up. A comet breaking up doesn't stop in the middle.
what the fuck?
There's nowhere that's clear. My brother said it's clear. That one just popped up out of nowhere.
So good.
Miren.
Marica. ¿Sharon, ves?
Míralo cómo se mueve.
Síguelo. Qué chimba.
A ver si le puedo dar un poquito más de zoom. Sí, señores.
Uy, no.
¡Oh, qué chimba! Ay, no te vayas. Míralo cómo hace, mira.
Pero mira que son como unas luces de discoteca.
Mira. ¡No, perro, quítate! Este marica me hizo desenfocar, hombre.
Ahí lo tienes. Suave. Ajá, parece más.
Se mueve. Míralo cómo se mueve, mira cómo da vuelticas, mira.
Chimba.
Mira cómo da vueltas.
Wow. Ay, cuando marica se vino. Ese sí es.
No, el sonido. O sea, mira, es que este no suena nada. Señoras y señores, Leonardo Arboleda acaba de cumplir el sueño de su vida. Tengo la cámara quieta, míralo cómo se mueve, míralo.
Vaya, busca tu mi amor, vamos.
¡Ah! ¡Marica, qué bella! ¡Ay, fue puta, se perdió! No, aquí es. Mira la de la mitad como palpita.
No, y es que es una chimba porque gira hacia los dos lados.
Pero mira la de mitad como palpita.
Un corazón, a ritmo.
Voy a darle un zoom out para que se den cuenta de que hay edificios. ¿Dónde están los edificios? Veanlos aquí. Ahí se alcanza a ver, palpitando. Zoom. Quieto, Margarito. ¡Ah, qué belleza! Mientras más lejos se ve como mejor.
Son como las luces de una discoteca, ¿no? Ay, sí, ya
No, mira cómo da vueltas, mira. Mira que se está moviendo porque
pero
yo tengo el coso quieto.
Sí, es
No,
reflejo en las luces.
ajá, mira que palpita. ¿Sí es como dando vueltas?
Debería ser en la moto, un lugar más oscuro.
No tengo el aquí no, aquí con este trípode que tengo. ¡Mira esa belleza! No, espérate, es que se ven todas las luces. Mira todas las luces que tiene, mira.
Venga.
No, esta mañana va a ser la página más visitada en YouTube, hijo de puta. Yo tengo canal en YouTube. ¡Ay, quieto!
No, te digo que te promociona. ¿Se está moviendo?
Sí, míralos, mi amor, míralo.
Míralo cómo se mueve,
Maybe 20 minutes, something like that. It's happened between 5 and half 5, so half an hour. I making a short movie of 5 minutes, something like that. What else I seen very interesting was above the objects was very red cloud. Was not any noise at all, So it was quiet sunset, quiet afternoon, quiet night, and was not windy or something like that. and I see just maybe just moving small, left and right side, very small, very short, you know, like.
Have to have wind below a certain parameter for the safety of the aircraft and for the ability for the spray to accurately hit the target. We need to have a certain sea state to get agitation on the surface so that the dispersant will have effectiveness on that oils.
We always send out 2 planes. There's a spotter plane, which also does observing and recon.
I got it now. It's gone. That's funny.
The analysis, I think they are much bigger, like a plane, commercial plane, you know, jumbo plane. I don't know. Too much big, but it's big. This object. If you see the video, I put it on all the zooming. My zooming is 40 optical zoom, and digital is a 300, 400 digital zoom, and the object is so far, no?
Mira, parece a un platillo y ahí.
Right here in Baja California, I try to create a group for investigation, you know, UFO investigation and other things, no, like Asian cultures, right here in Baja California, Tijuana and Mexicali. I just want to invite your friends and subscribers to my channel to subscribe it and subscribe for my channel, and they're coming back.
crazy, bro. Yo.
Incredible photos just into third phase of moon from Project UFOs, who continuously brings in amazing evidence. Edward Darwin managed to capture this massive cigar-shaped UFO. If you've captured anything amazing, like Edward, send it to third phase of moon. And I want to thank Project UFOs for sharing your amazing footage with us. My name's Blake Cousins, and we'll see you again next time.
See it. Hold on. Look, John, look right here. Look at that fucking shit. It's in that cloud right now. Hold up, bro.
This is the topic of discussion tonight in a quiet suburban Blue Springs community. Multicolored orbs hovering in the sky.
In the sky and just dropped. You know, how many feet I don't know, but it just dropped and then stayed stationary in that lower position.
Red, green, and blue. I don't think it's a planet. At this point, I don't know what it is. It's unidentified.
here, look at this. Look. Look at this. Watch. Watch it. Look at it. It's like 3 lights. Watch. Just watch, look. Look at it, John. Look at that. Are you seeing this? John, tell me what that is right now. Grab the binoculars and look at that. What the fuck is that thing? Everyone's taking pictures down the beach right now. Come on, man. What is it? Fuck, I keep fucking autofocus. Look, John, look right here. Look at that fucking shit. It's in that cloud right now. Hold up, bro.
Come very, very quickly towards their car at an alarming speed. It was so fast that the young boy who was also in the back of the car started screaming out, "Mummy, Mummy, what's that?" And it flew over their car and was gone in seconds. They went back to their house, and Jane said to this teenage girl who was in the house, her friend, she says, "You'll not believe what we have just seen. It's crazy. It was one of those UFO objects." This daughter refused to believe them. They eventually coaxed this young girl to come into the car and let's go out and drive back out to that vicinity and see if we can see it again. They drove along the road and then they turned off the road to go down a smaller road and towards this range of trees. The reason they did this was coming up from this range of trees was like tubular columns of light. There was about 12 of these coming from the forest floor up through the trees, illuminating the sky and the clouds. There was red, green and blue lights. And then suddenly they stopped the car and they looked into the sky above them. And there were hundreds and hundreds of tiny sparkling lights, like a kid's sparklet you hold in your hand. There was lots of them above their heads. And also on Falkland Hill, there was this orange ball of light. They haven't seen this before. And then, very bizarrely, they became aware of this blue mist pervaded the front of the forest. And this is where it gets really bizarre, because they claim that contained within this blue mist, they saw hundreds of small grey creatures lifting up boxes and canisters and moving them back towards a clearing in the forest, which appeared to one of the ladies to contain one of these triangular-shaped objects. Did the eyewitness... Maybe part of that was unseen by them. They were just fixed by these little grey creatures moving these boxes. But even more bizarrely were these very, very tall brown beings, creatures, I don't know, call them what you will, who were standing. One was standing to the right of all this activity and one to the left. Brown color. Brown, yeah, very tall, much taller than the small grey beings. And they had flat heads at the back and a pointed face. It was very bizarre what they said. And at one point, one of these tall beings bent down with his knees and got his hand and placed the back of his hand on the forest floor. Now, what he was doing, what that indicated, I don't think we'll ever know. But that was a gesture that this being put his hand down onto the forest floor. Now, just then, the witnesses claim that 2 or 3 of these small beings then, somehow, were encased in, if you can imagine, a soap bubble. They were encased in a very big 8 to 12 foot soap bubble. Sounds bizarre, but this is what they said. And suddenly, these beings have blown across this field to their direction. Were
the small gray beings putting the boxes and the cylinders of beams of light that were going up into the triangular craft?
As far as the witnesses could ascertain, these beings were taking these boxes and cylinders towards this triangular-shaped object in the woods.
Was the triangular craft down on the forest floor?
It was, yeah.
And that's where the gray beings seem to be carrying the boxes and the cylinders?
That's correct, yeah.
Were the beams only coming from underground or from the ground up through the trees?
It's a oh.
Vamos a verlo juntos. Mira lo que cae en el cráter. Esta es la Ahí está esto que...
We welcome you to the other side of the doorway. We have crossed the threshold. Now, we understand that many people on your planet thought that on the other side of the door, all heck would break loose, or all heaven. But the idea, as we have described it many times, is that this is the tipping of the scale, and that now you are on the other side of the threshold crossing, you're on the other side of the looking glass. It may not necessarily appear to be that different right away, but now you have an opportunity to recognize that on this side of the threshold, on this side of the looking glass, after tipping the scales, the collective energy of your planet has gone from slightly more negative to slightly more positive on average. As we have said, again, this idea now gives you the opportunity to begin to truly accelerate your energy in the positive direction, allowing it to snowball, as you say, to build and build and build and build, and thus then allow you to experience at whatever pace you're truly comfortable with the ideas of the realities that are more in alignment with what you prefer and who you prefer to be. So it may seem to start slowly, may seem to start small, but you have truly crossed the threshold, truly gone through the looking glass. The energy is much different now, and this is your opportunity to truly grab hold or a line of that energy and ride the crest of the wave as it accelerates now through your year of 2013, your year of transformation, and becomes faster and faster and faster and faster. Again, of course, there is no such thing really as acceleration, but what you are experiencing is the idea of the infinite speed of creation, that which stands perfectly still while moving at infinite speed, and thus the idea of the experience you have of acceleration is simply you becoming more aware, more and more and more in tune with the infinite speed that already exists. So you're not really accelerating, you're just becoming more aware of how fast you're already going. Just as we have said with manifestation, you never really attract anything from somewhere else. You are simply becoming more aware of what is already here. You're allowing it to become more visible to you. And so the idea of your acceleration as it proceeds from this point forward, as you say, will be the whole process of your willingness, to whatever degree that occurs, your willingness to allow the infinite speed you are already existing at to become more and more tangible, more visceral, more perceivable by you, by allowing yourself to truly let go and let in the vibration that is mostly truly you. The idea, however, is that we understand that each and every one of you will go through your own process and will experience the idea of the beginning of this acceleration on the other side of the looking glass in a variety of ways. And some of those ways may still be connected to the ideas of what you experienced on the other side. And thus then, as you go through these processes of letting go of belief systems that no longer work for you, you may yet still create for yourselves certain experiences that seem to be similar to what you experienced before. But understand there are different reasons now for why you may be experiencing those things, as we will explain. Now that we are on the other side, now that you have gone through the shift that we co-created together last night of your time, and are now beginning to sense your way through this new reality, taking tentative steps, a step at a time, going faster and faster at whatever pace you are comfortable with, you may begin to sense certain things. Some of you may feel a little disoriented. Some of you may feel a little wistful. Some of you may feel a little melancholy. Some of you may feel even a little sad. The idea is to understand that what's going on is that you are letting go of an old idea of yourself. The old you, in a sense, has passed away. And you are, in some senses, in mourning. The idea will be experienced in a variety of ways by many of you. But you will get used to the concept and let go of that idea, disconnect from those lines of communication, from that old idea of yourself, and connect more fully to the concept of the self you are becoming aware of, the true you. You will stop eventually looking backward and you will look forward. And thus then, the more you allow yourself to look forward, the more you will connect to that reality, to that you, the less you will experience the vestiges, as it were, of whatever belief systems you are holding on to that may create this disorientation or wistfulness or melancholy or sadness. You will again experience it in a variety of ways, and that's all right. Let it be. Let it be all right. Feel it, but just know what it is you are feeling so that you can utilize it and apply your toolkit of excitement to it. And always feel, even in the process of dealing with these remnant ideas, always know that you have the capability of making a choice, that is more in alignment, of having a definition, applying a definition that is more in alignment to who you know you truly are, who you know you prefer to be. This process, in a sense, paradoxically speaking, is really all about understanding, truly taking in and understanding that you are letting go in such a manner that the person who used to be you will be experienced from a new point of view, and thus you will know that even though that person used to be you, you have never been them. That's the paradox. Because you are inventing yourself anew, and as we have said, when you truly know you are a new person, you have a different history, because the past is created from the present, not the other way around. So when you truly understand the idea of that other person, that they really are another person, that you are not that person and never have been that person. It's not about not being that you anymore. You never have been. So it's all about recognizing that that person believes in that sense, looks at you in that sense as the future self, and you, as the future self, have never been them. Because you are a new you in a new reality, literally, a new person, literally, with a new history, a new definition of your being. When you truly grasp this idea and make it your own, you will feel a sense of expansion and freedom and ecstasy that will be almost uncontainable. Again, in this process that you may create for yourself, if you find yourself feeling whatever emotions you may feel, understand they are all for the purpose of letting go, for the purpose of washing out those ideas, those chemical constituents, those cellular structures within the body that were representative of an old idea. But again, as you realize that that old idea has nothing to do with the you are now, you will shift. You will feel the shift. You're always shifting, but you'll feel the shift. And again, this will be one of the strong symptoms on this side of the looking glass, is that more and more you will feel the shifts within your being, within the reflected world around you. You will experience signs and symbols of the shifts tangibly in many cases. Synchronicity will increase in a certain way that you become more aware of it, to the point where it will seem almost, in your terms, magical. And you'll begin to realize, as we have said many times, that miracles are the natural order of things. And as you realize that the new you no longer has a definition of resistance to that natural self, as you embrace that natural you, the true you, the you were created as, again, you will experience all the things that are germane to the reality that you prefer to be. We have discussed that you are shifting through parallel realities all the time, billions of times per second. So it's not about having to learn to shift. You've got that one down. That's just automatic. It's just what's built into you. You're shifting all the time. It's paying attention to the shifts, allowing yourself to be more intentionally aware of the shifts, so that you can more consciously and intentionally choose the parallel realities that you prefer. The degree of difference that you create between one parallel reality and another is what will allow you to perceive more clearly that you are shifting. Because it is only a small degree of difference between them that allows you to maintain the illusion that you're barely shifting at all, when in fact you're shifting to a completely new reality billions of times per second and becoming a completely new person literally billions of times per second. So the more degree of difference you create between the realities you are shifting to, the more you will notice that you are shifting. Be free to design and define the new reality however you wish. And even though you may not necessarily immediately experience it to the degree of difference that you have created in your visualization, creating the greatest degree of difference is what will allow you to feel that you are moving more and more quickly, accelerating more and more quickly in that direction. That's how you will experience it. The greater degree of difference you create in your definition of the new reality you are shifting to, the more you will experience an acceleration toward that reality. That's how you will experience it in physical terms. And more magic will surround you, will enter your life. More opportunities will present themselves to you, and your senses will be capable of perceiving things that were heretofore invisible to you. And you will begin to truly understand that excitement is a complete kit that contains everything that you need, and that your life unfolds automatically, synchronistically, and perfectly. And everything that happens, every circumstance, and every situation, and every person with whom you interact is there for a reason. Not always necessarily the same reason between you, but a reason nonetheless. Empower yourself by assigning a positive reason for everything that happens, and you will always extract a positive effect. That is your legacy. That is your birthright. Employ it. Use it. It's always been here for you, and it will never leave. These abilities will never leave. You only choose to leave them. They never leave you. And again, you never really leave, but you create the illusion that you have. But this is on the other side of the looking glass. The old world, the old way, the old ideas, and though they be in your mind old, they have never existed within the new you that you are now. We would like to begin this transmission with the idea that we have called the crossing of the threshold, the tipping of the scales, wherein we shall discuss a little bit more deeply the ideas of resistance to the natural self, the shadow reflections of the physical mind, and letting go of definitions that are out of alignment with your true self, that do not work for you, that hold you back from truly living your life of ecstasy, your life of bliss, your life of joy. At the end of this little speech that we are giving now to you, before we begin with questions, I will also have a little bit of a surprise announcement. All right. Maybe I don't need to make it. Sounds like some of you already know what it is. But maybe not. Nevertheless, for the moment, let us begin with the transmission of these ideas. First and foremost, we recognize that many of you thought this day would never come. But here you are, in the threshold itself. Now, it does not matter what ideas, what mythology, what folklore, what concepts, what perspective and perception you had about what this day represents, what this crossing represents. Doesn't matter what calendar you adhere to. Doesn't matter in that sense how time is counted by you. The idea that this many people on your planet are focused on the notion that this is in some way, shape, or form the ending of one cycle and the beginning of another is sufficient to make it so. So you have created for yourself, in a way, a self-fulfilling prophecy of gathering your energy focus together, creating the leading edge of a consciousness wave, and riding the crest of that wave now across this threshold in much the same way that many of your machines break through the sound barrier, creating that boom, that crossing, that impact, that shaking, that reverberation, that awakening, that realization that you are now in a new realm, a new frequency, existing on a new level. And in crossing this threshold now, by whatever means you have created yourself to be a part of this endeavor, you now have the opportunity in the crossing of this threshold and standing right in this threshold and now being at the center of the scales, tipping them from one side to the other and accelerating the vibrational energy that is more representative of your true self. You have the opportunity to truly clarify for yourselves what is true for you. What is the focus you really prefer? What is the state of being you really prefer to have and experience in your lives? For you now have the assistance and the help and the support of the collective consciousness that is all focused on this particular moment as being something new, something special, something different. You really have the ability now to take advantage of the crest of that wave and ride it far and fast in the direction of your choosing, in the direction of your joy, in the direction of your bliss. It is your time now and your timing now to realize and recognize this opportunity as deeply as you possibly can, so that you can, in examining any resistance that you may still be holding on to, any negative beliefs, any negative definitions that you may be holding on to that allow you to experience your life in a way that you do not prefer. This is your opportunity to truly stand in the spotlight of your own being, in the spark of your own essence, and with honesty and excitement and curiosity and determination and focus to truly dig deep, dive down into those things that are not you, and to stop carrying that baggage you may have been carrying for so many years that weighs you down, that you've been dragging along on the ground, feeling that you are held back. It is now the sparkling opportunity to truly divest yourself of any and all definitions, labels, and beliefs and perceptions that do not align with your true vibration, your true frequency, so that whatever it is that may occur in your life, and no matter how it may look on the surface, you will give yourself that opportunity, that space to redefine, to pause and redefine in the way you prefer to, whatever it is you choose, whatever it is you prefer. The vibration to label every situation, every circumstance, without exception, in your lives, in a way that works for you. To use your imagination, that conduit of communion between your physical mind and higher mind, to use that higher mind mirror and the synchronicity in your life in a way now that is truly reflective and truly representative of the behavior, of the personality, of the thoughts, words, deeds, actions, behaviors that you prefer to exhibit, that are representative of that ideal you in your visualization of the ideal reality, without, in any way, shape, or form, insisting on or expecting that the reality you visualize must come to fruition in the way that you have imagined it. Only because you now know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that whatever the physical mind imagines can be given to you many times greater than you were capable of imagining by the higher mind. And so that is reason enough to let go of your insistence on how you think things should work out, and to be willing to let in the things that the higher mind knows are the things you truly need, by investing and appreciating every single moment that occurs in your life, because nothing happens by accident. And you all know this deep down Even though you may have forgotten on the surface, you all know this deep down. And it is time for that deep down part of you to ascend, to rise, to bubble up, and become truly aligned and harmonious and synchronous with the physical personality so that the behavior exhibits that knowledge, that certainty, that indestructible knowingness that you are worthy of creation, that you are worthy of your dreams, that you are worthy of joy. Because that is the state from which you were created. The explosion, in a sense, of ecstasy that you refer to as the beginning of all that is, still exists. For there is only one moment of creation, only one. Yet you experience that moment from all the different points of view you possibly can. And that is what you call different moments. But they are all the same moment from another perspective. So you are always in that moment of creation, the single moment in which everything exists here and now. And in realizing that and knowing that, this is your opportunity to understand that as you dive down deeply into your consciousness, into your being, there is no reason to fear the unknown. For the only thing, as we have said, you will ever discover in the unknown is just more of yourself, because that's all there is to discover in the unknown. More of you. More and more and more of who and what you truly are, who and what you're truly created to be. Inspire yourselves. Imagine yourselves. Act as the selves you truly prefer to be. And know that as you allow more clarity in your definitions and assign more positive meanings, definitions, and labels to the things that occur in your life, you will see the synchronicity reflected. Not that you have to, because living your excitement and being in the state of being you prefer to be in is, in and of itself, reason enough to do it. And you don't really need another reason. You can choose to be happy because that's what you prefer. You don't need to wait for a reason. You are the creator of your reasons anyway. So if you experience the idea of unhappiness, then it is simply because it is your choice. Choose something else if you prefer something else, because there is nothing within creation that can contradict what you say is true for you. Not a thing. Because what you on your planet for many, many years have called God's will is actually your will. And your will is God's will. Why? Because God is everything. God is all that is. You are made from God because there is nothing else to make anything from. Thus then, each of you expresses a different perspective of the will of creation. So creation doesn't need to stress or exercise any difference in its will other than the will it has created all of you and all of us and everything in creation already to be. You are already expressing all the different variants, in a sense, of God's will, just to use that term. So it doesn't need to contradict anything because it is everything. And if it wasn't important for you to have your unique perspective, your unique choices, your unique will, believe me, you wouldn't exist, because creation does not make mistakes. So if you exist, creation knows you need to exist in order for it to truly be all that is. Without you, it would not be all that is. So your will is God's will, and God's will is yours for yourself. That's what you were created to be, an expression of, in a sense, God's will. To have the experience of being you, uniquely you. And you get to decide how to express that, because it is your choice. It is your expression. It is your experience. It is your life. That's why you were given that life. That's why you were created, to express your unique perspective so that all that is has all the perspectives it needs to be all that is. Without you, it would collapse into nothing. You are that valuable. You are that worthy. You are that important. And you are that indestructible. Because if you exist, you cannot cease to exist. By definition, non-existence doesn't exist. So there's nowhere for you to go. If you exist, you always will. You will change, but you will always exist. Now let us discuss briefly the ideas, again, of resistance, the shadow reflections. We have discussed before the concept of different levels of consciousness. As you create your consciousness to be, you experience yourself by creating levels, different frequencies of consciousness, from non-physical to physical, a variety of different levels of frequency, of expression. And we have talked about the idea that many of you believe or have believed for quite some time that as a physical consciousness, you have other levels of consciousness beneath that level. You have the subconscious and unconscious. And you talk about these levels as if they are, in a sense, deeper below you. But they are not. They are above you. Physical consciousness is the lowest level. So when you go searching into your subconscious and unconscious mind for the answers you know are there, you're actually needing to raise your frequency. We have discussed this. It is not actually about going lower. However, in your physical reality, because you have this definition that your physical consciousness is paramount and the Lord of all it surveys and in control of everything, and that your subconscious mind and unconscious mind are these unfathomable things somewhere beneath the level of your conscious mind, you have created the shadow reflections of these ideas in your physical reality. And it is these shadow reflections that you look to when you look down to these things and go down in vibration to deal with the sub and unconscious minds. But they are only ghosts, they are only shadows, they are only illusions. The subconscious and unconscious minds are higher in frequency because they are closer to the level of the all-knowing you, the higher mind that has, in a sense, broken itself down into the game board on which you're playing and the game pieces that you are. The collective consciousness, in that sense, that determines the collective agreement of the rules you will play by in the game of physical reality on your planet of Earth. This is all being stepped down to the level of the physical mind, which essentially is really nothing more than the idea of a diving mask to allow you to see clearly in the depths of the physical reality you are exploring. That's its true and only job. The ego structure is a diving mask to allow you to experience physical reality. But everything else is above you. There is nothing below you. And so when you go looking for the answers that exist to your questions, they do reside within you, but they reside in the direction of up, not down. Your subconscious and unconscious are really higher conscious levels. Don't define them as being below or beneath you, or some mysterious compartment locked away in the depths of your psyche. Rise to the occasion of discovering who you are by raising your frequency and exploring upward. Again, the answers are all found going toward the light, not down into darkness, not down into shadows. Questions down, answers up. That's why your question mark is bent over looking down. That's why your exclamation point is pointing up. Take a cue from your own language, from your own punctuation. Allow yourselves again to understand that as you do choose to act more and more now in this threshold energy, on your excitement, your highest excitement, we ask you, please remember clearly what we have said many times about excitement being a complete kit. Many times we have had conversations with many of you where you ask the questions, well, will my excitement do this? Will it do that? Will it bring me this? Will it bring me that? We remind you, excitement is a complete kit. Look up the word. Nothing is left out of it. It is a complete kit. It is the driving engine, the organizing principle of your life, and will also, as you act on your excitement more and more, bring to your attention whatever definitions you may be harboring that you are unaware of, that are out of alignment with the vibration of your excitement. It will bring those up in front of your face to deal with. It will reveal to you what is incompatible with the vibration of your highest true self, which you call excitement, joy, love. It will do these things automatically. You don't have to wonder if it will. But pay close attention to your definition of excitement, because many of you have definitions of excitement that are very contradictory to the idea of excitement itself, as if the true definition of excitement could ever leave anything out that is truly representative of who you actually are. By definition, it can't. So pay attention to how you frame the idea of what you're calling your excitement. Understand that it is not only complete, but self-contained, self-perpetuating. Thus then, if you have a definition of excitement that in some way, shape, or form seems to leave something out that's truly representative of your highest excitement, then it's not a definition of your excitement. It can't be. By definition, it can't be. So pay attention to how you frame these things so that you can catch yourself. Notice when you are creating a contradictory definition, and thus then not allowing the true definition of your excitement to work for you in a harmonious way. Because again, we remind you, excitement is your natural vibration. That's your translation of your true frequency. It's your compass needle pointing to your true north. So, we also take this opportunity to remind you that when you are looking, scanning for what is exciting to you, that you be honest in your evaluation and have the discernment, the willingness to have the discernment to be able to tell the difference between what is truly aligned with your excitement and what is simply anxiety disguised as excitement because you're afraid to look at why the anxiety is there. So have discernment. Do not be afraid to look. The only reason many of you are afraid to look deep down into those negative beliefs is because you have been taught to believe that once you dig down and discover something negative that you may believe to be true about yourself, you are going to actually, this is the fear, that you're going to actually find out that it actually is true. True that you're a horrible person. True that you don't deserve. True that you're unworthy of love. True that you don't fit in. True that you're this, that, and the other thing. I can guarantee you, if it were true that you were truly unworthy, you wouldn't exist. So please stop arguing with creation. Stop denying your existence by assuming arrogantly that you, out of all creation, are the only one unworthy of your existence. Stop arguing with creation. Relax into the support that creation gives you. Relax into the opportunities that it presents you synchronistically in front of your face. Label them in a negative way, and you can only get a negative effect. Label them in a positive way, no matter how they look, and you can only get a positive effect. This is simple physics. That's all it is. And not only, as we have said, is it simple physics, it is simple physics. Not complicated at all. The only things that create complications, the only things that create difficulty is your resistance to the situation. There is no situation that exists that inherently contains struggle and strife and suffering. Yes, of course, there are challenges. Yes, of course, there may be hard physical work. Yes, of course, those things exist because you exist in a physical reality. That doesn't mean they are unpleasant or need to be. It doesn't mean that just because you are doing some hard work for something you love to do, that there is something wrong with that. When we talk about the idea of effortlessness, we don't mean that you will necessarily not experience the idea of physical work. There is joy in physical work. There is joy in doing something that at the end of the day you feel allows you, in that sense, to be accomplished. There is benefit and joy in that. Do not assume that when we talk about the idea of effortlessness, that means that you will not experience challenges or even some idea of physical labor. These things can be enjoyed in certain ways. But what we are talking about is the idea of true suffering, true pain, true anguish, true agony, true struggle in that sense. These things you do not need. And the only reason those things exist is not because of the circumstance, not because of the situation. They only exist because of your definition of the circumstance. All resistance comes from your definition of your relationship to the situation and the circumstance. There is no inherent pain in any given situation, only in your definition of your relationship to it. So learn to define things in a more positive way, and you will see that you will only experience a positive effect, because these things have no built-in meaning whatsoever. There is no built-in automatic meaning to any circumstance or situation in your life. Only the meaning you have been designed to give it. And that is what you have been created to do. Give meaning to those things so that you will have the experience that is most harmoniously aligned with who you truly were created to be. Resistance, as you say, is futile. Because it will only create more agony, more resistance, more pain. Give it up. There is no reason, really, empirically, to resist your life. Trust that it will unfold in perfect timing. Trust that the situations and circumstances that appear in your life are there for a reason. And if you know they are, and behave like you know they are, and give it a positive meaning, even if you don't empirically understand what possible positive thing could come out of it, it doesn't matter if your physical mind understands every little detail. In fact, it's not even designed to understand every little detail. So stop forcing it to do things it wasn't designed to do. Lighten up on your mind. For goodness sakes, it's tired enough. You have, in that sense, for your whole life been told to tell your physical mind that it has to be in control of everything, and engineer this and engineer that, and watch out for this detail, and plan this and plan that, ad nauseum. Your physical mind is now evacuating. It is now vomiting up all those things it can no longer stomach. Give it a break. Allow your physical mind to do the job it was designed to do. To enjoy and perceive and experience the physical reality you have chosen to explore, the themes and challenges you have chosen to transform, the discoveries you have chosen to make about who and what you are in this realm. The reflections you have chosen to discover in the higher mind mirror that allow you to know more and more each and every day who you truly are, so that you can become more harmoniously aligned with the flow of creation instead of struggling by resisting it, swimming upstream against the current. Go with the flow, because the flow is leading you exactly to the proper place you need to be, at the proper time, with exactly whom you need to be there. Everything already works. You don't have to make it work. You just have to allow it to work. That's all. Allow yourself to be who you truly are. Truly. Now we will, in the course of our interactions with you, in the questions and answers that are about to come in this transmission, explore more specifically the ideas of resistances, of shadow reflections, of negative beliefs, so that you can truly be clear about these things and let them go because they do not serve you. But before we do that, a little announcement. In that you are in the threshold now, and that we will be doing another transmission tomorrow night of your time, we will have changed the frequency and vibration of our being collectively and shifted sufficiently at that point and tipped the scales just far enough that we can, tomorrow night of your time, introduce you to a communication from another being you have never met. We will allow that being to introduce herself more formally to you tomorrow night of your time, or as she would put it, in another nocturne cycle. But we will tell you this much about her. Since we are going to be exploring a little bit more deeply, a little bit more fully, tomorrow night of your time, the concept of parallel reality templates, how to more clearly understand how it is you are shifting intentionally to different parallel realities of your preference, this being who comes to you, who we have been preparing and practicing with for some time now, to be able to utilize the biological telephone sitting before you, what she would call the biometric. She comes from what you would recognize as approximately 700 years in your future. She is a parallel reality specialist. Now, this being will be speaking to you over the course, from time to time, of your year of 2013. So tomorrow night of your time will be mostly an introduction, a getting to know you, as you say in your Hollywood speak, a meet and greet. Just so that you can begin to learn each other's colors and flavors and vibrations and frequencies. But I will begin to prepare you by getting you used to her name. Willa Hillacrising. Willa Hillacrising. Willa Hillacrising. She is not what you think. But she will tell you herself tomorrow night of your time a little bit more about exactly what she is. At this timing, we will extend to you now our deep appreciation and gratitude and ask in return, in what way now may we be of service to you with your questions? There is always something in each thing that is said for everyone. If you give it that meaning, you will extract an effect from it, whether it be immediately or when you pay attention on all levels. Just relax, open up, let go, and let in, and let yourself be and become more of who you are. Now, we have mentioned that tonight of your time, we will be introducing to you a new being whose name is Willa Hillacrising. By the way, we have never said you had to whisper her name. You may if you wish, but it is not necessary. She is a parallel reality specialist. There may or may not be the beginnings of some discussions of some of the ideas that she could share with you this night of your time, but this will be the introduction, for she will interact with you from this point forward now and again, and especially in this year of 2013, the year of transformation, so that you may get used to each other, so that you may open a dialogue and have an exchange that bit by bit, more and more, will aid and assist you with new concepts of parallel realities, new perspectives of how to utilize and become more consciously aware of how to utilize the shifting that you do from parallel reality to parallel reality. And thus then, bit by bit, you will grow together, learn together, teach together, share together, and learn new permission slips that are her domain to give, that are her gifts to you. She will and is willing to explain to you a little bit of herself and her world, her reality. We will, in that sense, however, begin again by reminding you that as you understand linear time, she is approximately what you would recognize to be about 700 of your years in your future. Again, to her, this is nothing more than a parallel reality that simultaneously coexists with yours, nevertheless, being a parallel reality specialist, and in conjunction with the fact that we have been working with her now for some time to prepare her to understand how to communicate with you and to help us facilitate her communication with you. She understands the nature of how you see time, you experience time, and she understands the idea that for a long time you forgot that you were shifting into parallel realities all the time. So she will come with some understanding, but there may still be certain things that are foreign to her about you, even as there will be things that are foreign to you about her. But you will become used to each other over time. But we want you to understand that being a different being and being the kind of being that she is, in helping to facilitate her connection through the channel before you, her energy will access different areas of the channel's brain. And thus then, it will not just be the idea of some difference in personality, which will exist, of course, as the channel's body and energy will be somewhat representative of the new being. But it will also be calling forth things that are relevant to her reality in a new way. So at first, you may find a little disorientation in understanding exactly what it is that is being translated, because again, she is simply sending thoughts and we are facilitating, but we're going to allow for some of her reality to leak through in the translation so that you can get a better flavor of her world and who she is. We will not clean up the translation all the way. Thus, you will be given an opportunity to truly experience a little bit more of how she views her world and how she thinks. And this will help you stretch into other realms and other parallel realities that she will eventually introduce to you when you become more familiar with her flavor, so to speak. We will undertake her ability to communicate with you in the following way. Now, we understand that you have drawn names to ask questions, and in those names you have already drawn, those will be the questions we will address after your conversation with Willa. Nevertheless, we perceive that there will be an opportunity to ask Willa a few questions, but we will handle it in a different way. So the questional names you have already drawn will be specifically for us. The way we will handle the questions for Willa is as follows. Nania, will you please step up to the microphone? Are you present?
I am present.
All right. Thus then, when Willa comes through, there may be a little bit of a delay in translation, so you will expect the idea of a few pauses here and there as she gets used to the idea of communicating with you. And if and when Willa will allow some questions, those in the audience who feel they would like to ask a question may raise their hands. Nania, you will choose who will ask a question. They will tell you their question from where they are, and you will repeat the question into the microphone.
Okay.
All right?
So that's basically what I'm supposed to do, is listen, and then if she asks for questions, respond to anyone who raises their hand and repeat the question to Willa.
Yes.
Okay.
The questioners will not come to the microphone themselves as they will when they are speaking to us. They will simply tell you their question and you will repeat the question.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
All right. Thus then, if you will allow us to facilitate and give us a moment, we will allow the shift to occur. I conjure you into my hearts. Do you ken me?
Yes.
We are speaking down line to you. We are upline to you. From our now to your now, concurrent. Do you ken me?
Yes.
You have been given my name, for I have a name, as you have names, for I am part of your world. 700 of your cycles hence, a part of the 6th hybrid race that your world is becoming. But I am in combination also with genetics of the stars, from Sirius, as you call it, the Nomo. Siam, Earth human, hybrid human, Nomo extraterrestrial. A triad of genetics that is not necessarily common in the 6th hybrid race. I am as you have been storied, parallel reality specialist, upline from you 700 cycles hence. Ecstatic to grasp and match your intent, and welcome and conjuring you into our hearts. Yes, I have too. Like your brains, with the central and hemispheres, my heart mirrors with central and hemispheres. Reverberations back and forth between the two. Do you grasp that? We can, you have been given our naming in your language, in your speaking, the old speak. But new speak to us, Willa, Hillacressing. But were you to understand it in old speak, in your language, downline, you would be calling me Willow, Hillacrism. But evolution occurs with us 700 cycles hence, upline. And Willow, Hillacrism, that would have been my naming in your old speak down the line, has evolved in my reality, my now, up the line as Willa, Hillacrissing. You may still grasp me if it is your wish as Willow. I will not mind. The reason you did not, in that sense, grasp at first the connection to your old speak is of the evolution in our time upline. But in your day I would have been Willow, Hillacrism. This gives you a matching intent of grasping an idea for those of the hybrids who will become the landed hybrids, closer to your time downline, closer to your now than my time. For in my time upline, in my now, the landed hybrids have lived upon the earth for hundreds of cycles. Whatever naming you may have in your grasping and your matching of intent with them now, before they are landed upon your now earth down the line, are what might be termed temporary names, temporary namings. When the hybrids land, become the landed ones on your earth, in your timing, in your new now, up your line from where you are now, down the line from them, they will take upon new namings, most of which they will grasp to be combinations of namings of natural things. So I, in that sense, in your time, in the old speak, would have been Willow and Hillacrism. And many of the hybrids will take similar namings in their time once they are landed in combination. Other namings that we will share in our grasping, in our matching, in our speaking, in our learning, up the line from your now, will be becoming familiarized to you more and more. One, we will reference many times, shall be one of the 6 hybrid race, 150 cycles down the line from me, before me, in your understanding of time, in what you call my past. 150 years, as you say, cycles down the line, we will reference this being in our future conversations, because this being has written what you call a book that is called Shards of the Fractured Mirror. Shards of the Fractured Mirror is what you call the definitive work of parallel reality understanding, from which up the line we have drawn, and from which up the line I have made my graspings and matchings and understandings and kennings, and is my work. So I will refer to shards of the fractured mirror in our conversations up the line. That work being written as another example of the hybrid namings by Holly Cotton. So we will refer to Holly Cotton many times up the line in our conversations and kennings. Do you ken what I am saying? The Bashar who assists my kenning of you shares with me the existence of a seedling, Nania. If down the line there are those who wish to extend graspy waves, we will ken a few. Do you take my meaning?
I think so. Maybe people who want to ask you questions?
Aye.
Okay. Would anyone like to ask a question? Okay, I'll start with Sherry here.
What's the best way to match the energy of the parallel reality that I like to get into?
The question is, what is the best way to match the frequency of a parallel reality that I would like to shift to?
Do you ken the vision of that reality?
Yes.
She does.
Is it in your bones?
Yes.
Have you taken scribe to it?
Scribe, you mean like writing it or acting it out?
All the spectrum. Writing, drawing, building, acting, immersion, submersion, taking it in, grasping, breathing, concocting, conjuring into your hearts. Sorry, heart. A thing not fully grasped, a thing not fully kenned, a thing not fully lived, a thing not fully breathed is not fully kenned. Are there, in your grasping, are there in your kenning, other things you could be doing to be a shard of the fractured mirror, to reflect that shard of the mirror?
Are there? Yes. Would you like to suggest something that you could do to more strongly crystallize or realize the vision that you have? She was saying, like, walking like the person that she wants to be.
Is walking sufficient for you?
She hasn't tried it yet.
Why ever not?
Okay, why not, Cherry?
Where's your joy, lass? What have you done with it? Put it in a box.
We put it in a box. She's acting on it. But maybe...
I grasp the concept you're sharing, but I don't ken it. It's a telling thing when you share your shard that it bounces off my heart. It's not bouncing off my heart, lass. Do you ken me? If it's not bouncing off my heart, it's not bouncing off of yours.
She got that.